Here are Grandma's 41 old-school life hacks that you wish you knew sooner. Remove hard water buildup in washing machine with Kool-Aid. Back in Grandma's time in 1970s, citric acid wasn't cheap or easy to come by. Vinegar was common, but folks often disliked the sour odor it left behind. In areas with very hard water, like hers, mineral buildup was relentless. Coffee pots had to be scrubbed inside out, and toilets saw regular use of pumice stones. One surprising solution? Lemon-flavored Kool-Aid. It's full of citric acid and easily cut through lime scale in washing machines. Just pour one packet into the detergent slot and run a hot cycle. Do this monthly to prevent buildup from ruining hoses or heating elements. Bite toothpick while cutting onions. Did you know that biting a wooden toothpick while chopping onions may help stop tears? It's an old kitchen trick passed quietly from cook to cook. The theory goes that keeping your mouth slightly open lets the sulfur fumes escape rather than travel up to your tear ducts. Some also believe the wood absorbs a bit of the vapor near your nose. Whether the science holds up or not, many seasoned home cooks still swear by it. Mix Sprite into eggnog. In many households, holiday eggnog was a once-a-year treat, but Grandma had a way of giving it extra sparkle, literally. She'd pour in a splash of lemon-lime soda, like Sprite, to lighten the rich texture and add a little fizz. The citrus also balanced out overly sweet or heavy batches. This quick addition made store-bought eggnog feel homemade and more drinkable for guests who found the thickness too much. Pour slowly to avoid foam overflow and stir gently before serving. A sprinkle of nutmeg or a crushed cinnamon stick on top made it extra festive without any added work. Butter rubbed into hair to kill lice. When lice made their way through schools or summer camps, families back in the day turned to what was on hand. One traditional remedy involved rubbing real butter into the scalp and hair. The thick fat smothered lice by blocking their breathing, making it easier to comb them out. It also helped loosen the glue, holding knits to hair strands. After coating the hair, a warm towel wrap helped the butter soak in better. A fine-toothed comb removed the pests. Follow with a strong soap rinse, sometimes repeated twice. Add a dash of vinegar to the final rinse to loosen any stubborn nits. Spray rotten milk on roses as fertilizer. It might sound unpleasant, but old milk, especially when a bit sour, can be great for your garden. Rich in calcium and beneficial enzymes, it nourishes rose bushes and other flowering plants. The key is dilution. Mix 1 part spoiled milk with 2 parts water and spray it around the base of the plant. Avoid spraying directly on leaves to prevent mildew. This method improves soil health and boosts bloom production over time. Use a dedicated spray bottle kept just for the garden. Apply every 2 to 4 weeks during the growing season for naturally stronger stems and more vibrant petals. Add sugar and vinegar when boiling corn. Corn tastes best when its sweetness is preserved during cooking. Adding a spoonful of sugar to boiling water brings out its natural flavor, while a splash of vinegar keeps kernels tender and prevents toughness. Never use salt in the pot since it hardens the skins. Always place the ears into already boiling water rather than starting cold, which helps retain texture. Cook only a few minutes before draining. Afterward, brush with melted butter and sprinkle fresh herbs or spices to create a flavorful dish that feels far more special than ordinary corn on the cob. Test pan heat with water. Skillet readiness is easy to judge with nothing more than water. Flick a few drops onto the pan, and if they sizzle and skitter across the surface, the temperature is just right. If they vanish too quickly, the pan is overheated and risks scorching food. This method saves oil and helps ensure even cooking. Always dry the surface first to reduce spattering when adding fat. Cast iron especially benefits from slow preheating. Use this simple test before frying eggs, browning bread, or searing meat, so meals turn out crisp, golden, and perfectly cooked every time. Moisturize hair with mayonnaise. Grandma often turned to mayonnaise as a simple, homemade conditioner when commercial hair products weren't widely available. Made from eggs and oil, it coats hair with nourishing fats that restore softness, shine, and manageability. To apply, massage a thin layer through damp strands, wrap the head in a towel, and leave for 15 minutes. Rinse thoroughly with warm water and a mild soap to remove residue. This works best on coarse or frizzy textures needing extra moisture. Replace paper towels with washable rags. Many households once relied on washable rags rather than buying endless rolls of disposable paper towels. Old shirts, linens, and terry cloth were cut into squares and used for spills, polishing, and cleaning. Afterward, they were tossed into the wash and reused countless times. Keeping a basket of fresh rags ready in the kitchen makes cleanup quick and inexpensive. Different sets should be reserved for indoor and outdoor use to maintain hygiene. Smooth cotton cloths are excellent for cleaning windows and mirrors. Tidy house to find lost items. Have you ever wondered why Grandma always finds it easy to spot misplaced items? Apparently, she said that these things are easier to recover when cleaning as you search. Instead of rushing from room to room, organize calmly and let clutter reveal what it hides. Straightening drawers, clearing tables, and folding fabrics often brings forgotten coins, pens, or small tools back to light. Start searching where you last remember using the item, then move outward methodically. When dealing with tiny objects like rings or keys, check under papers or cloths that may conceal them. Once items are located, assign them a consistent storage spot near the doorway or kitchen to avoid repeated loss and wasted searching. Put sugar on the burnt area of your tongue. Sipping overly hot soup, tea, or coffee can leave the tongue sore and sensitive. A quick home remedy involves sprinkling a small pinch of sugar directly onto the burn. The crystals encourage saliva production, which soothes pain and creates a protective coating as they dissolve slowly. Relief comes quickly, making meals easier to enjoy again. Honey can also be used, offering added antibacterial benefits for faster recovery. Remove wood coaster stains with vinegar. Water rings on wood surfaces can seem permanent, though vinegar offers a quick fix. Mix equal parts white vinegar and olive oil, then dab the blend onto the stain using a soft cloth. Rub gently along the wood grain until the mark fades. The vinegar dissolves mineral deposits while the oil restores shine. Wipe clean with a dry cloth to finish. For stubborn spots, warm the vinegar slightly before applying. Use cornmeal or grits to get rid of ants. Ant infestations often start near windows, doorways, or cupboards, yet cornmeal provides a simple, natural deterrent. Ants eat the grains but cannot digest them, leading them to abandon the area. Sprinkle dry cornmeal or grits along entry points or near visible trails. Within days, colonies tend to dwindle as the insects stop returning. This method is safe for pets and children compared to chemical powders. Refresh the cornmeal every few days for effectiveness. Store an extra jar in your pantry specifically for this purpose so you're ready whenever small lines of ants appear. Tighten face with egg whites. A natural skin tightening mask can be made from just one egg white. Whisk it lightly and apply an even layer over your clean face. As it dries, proteins in the egg create a firming effect that temporarily tightens the skin, reducing the look of pores and fine lines. Rinse with cool water after 10 minutes for refreshed results. This remedy was often used before special gatherings when cosmetics weren't available. Add a teaspoon of honey to the mixture if you want additional moisture while still enjoying the tightening benefits at the same time. Mix the leftover egg mixture with the breadcrumbs. When preparing cutlets or croquettes, leftover egg wash doesn't need to go to waste. My Italian nonna would stir the remainder into breadcrumbs, creating a richer, crispier coating. The mixture clings better to food and prevents sogginess. After mixing, spread the crumbs on a baking tray to dry slightly before using again. This simple adjustment meant nothing in the kitchen was discarded unnecessarily. Try seasoning the breadcrumb blend with parsley, garlic, or grated cheese for added flavor. Pop lifesavers for fresh breath. Fresh breath has always been a small, yet important detail. Grandma would always have a lifesaver tucked in her pouch, ready for quick refreshment after coffee or meals. Peppermint or spearmint varieties not only masked odors, but stimulated saliva, which naturally helped cleanse the mouth. Popping one discreetly before greeting guests or stepping outside became routine. The shape allowed for slow dissolving, ensuring longer-lasting freshness compared to quick mints. Keep a roll in your bag, desk drawer, or coat pocket so you can enjoy the same convenient refreshment whenever needed, just as she always made sure to do. Store berries in mason jar with paper towel. Berries spoil quickly when left in open containers, though a mason jar trick extends their life. Line the bottom of a clean jar with a dry paper towel to absorb moisture. Place washed and thoroughly dried berries inside, then seal the lid tightly. The jar keeps air out while the towel prevents excess humidity, slowing mold growth. Store in the refrigerator for best results. Replace the paper towel if it becomes damp. Try keeping different berries in separate jars to avoid cross-contamination and enjoy fruit that stays fresher for many extra days. Whiten laundry with lemon juice and sun. Dull linens regain brightness with nothing more than lemon juice and sunlight. The citric acid lifts stains naturally while the sun's ultraviolet rays bleach fabric without harsh chemicals. Soak laundry in warm water mixed with lemon juice, then lay items flat outside on a sunny day. Flip pieces occasionally for even exposure. This method works especially well on cotton and linen. For stubborn yellowing, sprinkle a little baking soda over damp cloth before sunning. Use shortening for a golden, crispy fried chicken. Did you know that back in the day, cooks often relied on shortening to achieve perfectly crisp fried chicken? Unlike modern cooking oils, shortening has a higher smoke point and provides steady heat which prevents burning. Coating chicken in seasoned flour, then frying in hot shortening creates a golden crust that seals in juices. The result is tender meat with a crackling shell, a favorite at Sunday tables. Keep the oil shallow to avoid soggy spots. Recycle chopstick wrapper into holder. My Japanese grandma never wasted small, useful items, and chopstick wrappers were no exception. With a few quick folds, she'd turn one into a simple paper stand for resting chopsticks. This kept utensils clean and prevented them from rolling off the table. The method involves folding the wrapper in half, then tucking in corners to create a triangle base. It's handy for meals at home or picnics outdoors. Encourage children to practice the fold for fun. Keep wrappers during takeout meals and transform them into instant holders whenever disposable chopsticks are used. Soothe sunburn with Noxzema cream. After long hours outdoors, skin can burn easily, leaving painful redness. Noxzema cream became a trusted remedy because its eucalyptus and menthol oils cooled irritation instantly. Apply a thin layer directly to affected skin, allowing it to absorb without rubbing harshly. The formula also moisturizes, reducing peeling that often follows sunburn. Many families kept a jar ready during summer for quick relief after gardening or fishing. Keep applying twice daily until the redness fades, ensuring comfort while the skin gradually repairs and strengthens against future sun exposure. Avoid baking candy on humid days. Humidity can ruin homemade candy, leaving it sticky or grainy instead of crisp. Moist air interferes with sugar crystallization, preventing it from setting properly. The best results happen on dry days, when sugar mixtures cool evenly without absorbing moisture. If candy must be made on a humid day, work in an air-conditioned room or use a dehumidifier to stabilize the environment. Always store finished pieces in airtight containers lined with wax paper. Dab iodine tincture on toenail fungus. Toenail fungus grows slowly, yet proves stubborn without consistent care. Iodine tincture, found in many first aid kits, works as an antifungal when applied daily. Dab a small amount on the affected nail with a cotton swab, making sure it seeps around the edges. The iodine penetrates and disrupts fungal growth over time. Trim nails short and keep feet dry to aid progress. Wear clean, breathable socks to prevent reinfection. For stronger results, alternate iodine with diluted vinegar so the fungus faces two different treatments. Be consistent, as toenails require weeks to months for visible improvement. Save brass and bronze scraps for later value. Families back in the day often saved every bit of brass and bronze, knowing it would eventually prove valuable. Small pieces from broken fixtures, buttons, or tools were set aside in jars or boxes rather than discarded. Later, these scraps could be traded, sold, or melted down for repairs. Even tiny fragments added up over time. Keep different metals separated to avoid confusion when reusing or recycling. Keep salad fresh with damp paper towel. Leafy greens wilt quickly without moisture control, though a damp paper towel extends their life. Place one across the top of a bowl or container of salad before sealing. The towel regulates humidity, preventing leaves from drying out while avoiding excess wetness that causes rot. This trick keeps salads crisp for several extra days. Refresh or replace the towel if it dries out. Always wash and spin greens thoroughly before storage to remove hidden grit. Storing containers near the front of the refrigerator makes them easier to grab for quick, ready-to-eat meals. Soak grease spills with flour or baking soda. Kitchen spills happen quickly, especially with grease, yet flour or baking soda provide fast cleanup. Sprinkle generously over the spill to absorb oil before it spreads. Let the powder sit for several minutes, then sweep or wipe away. This prevents slippery floors and reduces staining on wood or stone. Baking soda also neutralizes odors, leaving the area fresher. Keep a container handy near the stove or fryer for emergencies. Dispose of the used powder in a sealed bag to avoid attracting pests. Quick attention prevents stains from becoming permanent and harder to clean later. Drink water before meals to feel full. A simple glass of water before eating helps manage appetite and portion size. Filling the stomach slightly with liquid signals fullness sooner, which reduces the chance of overeating. Water also aids digestion and keeps the body hydrated. This practice was often encouraged before big family dinners to balance heavy meals. Use room temperature or cool water rather than icy, which can slow digestion. Use lard for flaky pie crusts. Before vegetable shortening and modern oils, lard was the standard fat for creating flaky, tender crusts. Its larger fat crystals melt during baking, leaving layers of airy space between flour. Work lard into flour gently until pea-sized crumbs form, then add cold water sparingly. Chill dough before rolling to prevent toughness. The result is crust that shatters lightly with every bite. For a richer taste, combine lard with butter for balance. Prevent wound infection with aloe vera. Minor cuts and scrapes can heal more quickly with a touch of aloe vera gel. The plant's natural compounds reduce bacteria, cool irritation, and speed recovery. Simply slice open a fresh leaf and apply the gel directly to the wound. Cover with a clean cloth or bandage if needed. Reapply twice daily until healed. This method was especially common before commercial ointments were widely available. Keep a potted aloe vera plant in your kitchen or window garden so fresh gel is always ready for burns, cuts, or even insect bites. Kill mildew with a vinegar and bleach solution. Mildew thrives in damp corners, but a mixture of vinegar and bleach helps stop its spread. Mix equal parts water and vinegar, then add a small amount of bleach for stronger disinfecting power. Apply with a scrub brush on affected areas like bathroom tiles or cellar walls. Always work in a ventilated space to avoid harsh fumes. Rinse well afterward to protect surfaces. This method was long used to keep washrooms clean without costly products. Reapply as needed, and keep windows cracked to reduce future moisture buildup that mildew feeds on. Stir Ovaltine into cake batter. Sweet drinks weren't just for sipping. Ovaltine also served as a secret cake enhancer, stirring a few spoonfuls into batter-enriched flavor with a malty depth while adding subtle sweetness. The powder blended easily and gave cakes a warm, golden color once baked. Many thrifty bakers use this trick to stretch limited cocoa supplies without sacrificing taste. It works well in chocolate or spice cakes, providing a richer flavor than sugar alone. Sprinkle a bit of Ovaltine over frosting, too, for an extra boost that complements the cake underneath. Place a bread crust in the pot when cooking cabbage. Boiled cabbage often leaves behind a strong odor, yet slipping a crust of bread into the pot helps. As the cabbage simmers, the bread absorbs much of the sulfur smell that would otherwise linger in the kitchen. Discard the soggy crust before serving the vegetables. This trick was often used during winter meals when cabbage was a staple. Always use fresh bread so it soaks effectively. For a lighter scent, add a splash of vinegar to the water as well, which also brightens the flavor of the cooked cabbage. Rub Bengay on temples for relief. Headaches and sinus pressure found relief with a dab of Bengay on the temples. The menthol vapors eased tension and provided a cooling sensation that distracted from pain. Apply only a small amount, keeping it away from eyes and nostrils. Massage gently into the skin and rest for several minutes. This quick remedy was often used before bedtime when headaches lingered after a long day. Keep a jar in your medicine cabinet for these moments. For longer-lasting relief, pair with a warm compress over the back of the neck. Top 7-Up over sherbet. Have you tried topping your sherbet with 7-Up? This old-fashioned treat became popular for gatherings because it required little effort but delivered big flavor. The soda's citrus fizz combined with creamy sherbet to create a frothy, colorful drink. Guests could scoop sherbet into glasses and pour soda over the top themselves. Use rainbow sherbet for a festive touch, or stick with lime for a bright green presentation. Garnish with slices of orange or lemon for added appeal. Keep extra soda chilled so refills stay fizzy. Grow vegetables and eat what you harvest. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to save money and eat well is to grow your own food. Even a small plot can yield beans, lettuce, or carrots throughout the season. The process ensures freshness, reduces grocery costs, and provides valuable exercise. Start with easy-to-grow plants like radishes or zucchini, which thrive with minimal attention. Harvest regularly to encourage continuous growth. Preserve extra vegetables through canning, pickling, or freezing. Saving seeds from healthy plants ensures next year's crop comes at no cost, keeping the cycle going and food always available from your own soil. Share closets and double up kids in bedrooms. Space was often limited in older homes, and sharing closets or bedrooms became a necessity rather than a choice. Doubling up encouraged children to learn cooperation, responsibility, and how to value personal space even within tight quarters. Dividers, labeled bins, or separate shelves helped keep belongings organized while still conserving space. Parents often used simple wooden pegs for hanging clothes, freeing closet space for bulkier items. This practice also made cleaning quicker since fewer rooms needed attention. Rotate seasonal clothing out of the shared closet to reduce clutter and give everyone easier access to what they wear most. Steep tea in an almost empty jam jar. Grandma found creative uses for every last bit of food, including jam jars scraped nearly clean. Pouring hot water into the jar with a tea bag created a naturally flavored drink as the fruit blended with the steeping leaves. The result was a lightly sweetened tea without added sugar. This method ensured that nothing went to waste, stretching resources in a simple, practical way. Shake gently before drinking to release all the flavor from the sides. Save smaller jars for this purpose, turning what many would discard into a refreshing, homemade beverage option. Marinate tough meat in vinegar overnight. Cuts of meat that were once affordable often required long cooking times, yet vinegar provided a quicker solution. Soaking meat overnight in vinegar tenderized fibers, making even the toughest cuts easier to chew. The acidity broke down proteins while adding a tangy flavor base for roasting or frying. Herbs, garlic, or onion could be added to the marinade for variety. This trick meant fewer ingredients were wasted, as nothing was thrown out due to toughness. Pat meat dry before cooking to achieve a good sear. Always marinate in glass or ceramic, never metal, to prevent unpleasant reactions. Mix tang powder into pancakes. Pancakes became more exciting when a spoonful of tang powder was mixed into the batter. The citrus flavor brightened plain pancakes and gave them a golden color once cooked. The powdered drink blended smoothly and added sweetness without needing extra sugar. This trick was especially handy when fruit wasn't in season. Serve pancakes warm with butter to balance the tangy taste. Make a gardening pouch from old jeans. Frugal gardeners turned worn-out jeans into useful pouches rather than throwing them away. By cutting off a leg and sewing one end shut, you created a sturdy bag for carrying seeds, tools, or gloves. The thick denim held up well to dirt and heavy use. Add belt loops from the jeans as handles or ties to hang the pouch from a hook. This recycling trick kept fabric from going to waste while saving money on garden supplies. Patch holes with scrap fabric for longer life. Make several for organizing different tools by task. Trap flies with jars of molasses water. When flies became a nuisance, jars filled with molasses water provided a simple solution. The sweet smell lured insects inside, where they became trapped in the sticky liquid. Place jars near doorways, windows, or porches to reduce pests. The mixture works best when refreshed every few days to keep the scent strong. Adding a little vinegar to the jar discourages bees from entering. Use wide-mouthed jars for easier cleaning between batches. Keep lids loose so the scent spreads more effectively, and position traps away from food prep areas to maintain cleanliness indoors.